All right. Hey, I gotcha. Um, so Keller, we have an interview with you already that was really good, and it was about getting picked up. It was about you know being subject to arrest and possibly ending up dead in the process over
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing,
That's not,
something that
yeah.
you're vulnerable to
Yeah.
as a houseless person
Mm-hmm.
that other people don't have. We were also talking about how you don't have the freedom to just do things that people take for granted because they go do it in their house or in their property. And so just by the mere existence of doing something like playing a
Mm-hmm.
radio or drinking or whatever you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
it's all out in public and it's all illegal.
Yeah.
So you have an illegal life if you're houseless.
Yeah. Another thing they need to stop doing is stereotype everybody because, okay, they see me walking the streets at night. First thing they want to do is pull me over. For what? I'm not doing that. I'm just walking. You don't see me, with nothing on me, but you understand. You pull me over. Okay, you see a homeless person, what you do? You see him going to the first thing you do, you want to harass him. Okay, you see a dude with his hands down. Okay, so what? He got his pants down. As long as he's not committing a crime, why you want to harass them? Okay.
Why do they have their pants down? Why would somebody?
Because to them, it's making a statement, basically. It's saying basically it's who they basically are. So that's why they do it. Because they want the youngster, quote unquote, think it's cool, basically.
Oh, so you're talking about that kind of gangster style,
Yes.
not like a drunk guy who doesn't know better than to pull up his pants,
Yeah.
but like you're talking about some fashion
Yeah.
thing. Oh
But
God, I
but
hate.
but yet and still though, why you want to stereotype people?
Stereotype is what?
Okay, you see a homeless dude down walking the street. He's staggering. Okay, long as he ain't harming nobody, why you want to pull up? Why you want to stop him for?
Right.
Harassing?
Right.
That's wrong.
Because you don't know what it is that necessarily is with him, and even if you did, well, what's he doing to anybody?
Yeah, he's not doing nothing to nobody. Okay, you see, anybody walking the streets tonight. I just not too long ago I seen them dudes sitting at the bus stop. They pull up, talk and have some words with him, call for backup, and arrest him. For what? I do not know. He was just sitting at the bus stop. Okay? Now, that's stereotyping.
Right.
Okay, if you're not doing nothing, then why you want to arrest me?
So, so this vigil started out with just a simple message of end the camping ban by
Uh-huh.
prayer. That's the man who started it, Colonel Moses. He had this December 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to stay out there all the time, and he tried to get other people to come, and it just wasn't catching on.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was timing. We were pretty much, we were doing all these actions, and there were a lot of stuff going on. So it was mostly him, and there's been people who have, because one time we tried to keep the candles burning all night, all
Mm-hmm.
day, and I meant somebody had to be there, and I have a person there. And so it was over there, and it was just a table. All the stuff was getting rained on. It was really nice things. It's gone back and forth because of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's had different coverings because he fought for that, to keep his artifacts, and everyone else's dry. Of course, we have theft.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have this covered thing. People are signing it now
Mm-hmm.
because everybody tags. But what starts out as a couple of tagging is now becoming people signing their name like a yearbook. That they were here and they love it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now you have only the things that last, like flowers and sticks, because nobody walks off with them. So
Mm-hmm.
these blessings that are left are very much a people's vigil. There's a lot of stuff over there, and it changes all the time. So on this show, I always like what's new at the vigil and what's gone, what got taken. Um, anyway, so there's the lift the camping ban where we're saying okay, I know that we have to have rules to make it livable, and if we
Mm-hmm.
have a ton of people outside and it's really a mess, we have to do something. But our point is, what you do is not sweep people into the outskirts under crevices and in back alleys, but you actually deal with the situation that all of these folks are vulnerable. All of these folks are on the street.
See, what they
So
need to do is this, like Blanche House. Instead of them making a bigger house for feeding, there can be a house for people to come in and stay.
so we have enough food in the town, in other
We
words.
got, we got so many places that feeding already.
You do not starve in Portland, I
No,
heard.
you can't starve in Portland at all. They got places that will give you food boxes. So you can't starve. What they need is places for people to stay,
Right.
not a place for people to eat.
Now that has its own difficulties. I mean, you've got a lot of, you've got social, you've got health, you've got, you know, all sorts of reasons that a place, a shelter, or a nicer whatever can be out of hand. I mean, it seems like it's harder probably to put people up
See,
than it is to feed them and have them go in and out.
See,
What do you do?
What they need is this. They need a shelter where the homeless people can go in and out, okay, at nighttime, so they can, you know, sometime when it be cold out here, they can go in, warm up, okay, you know, look at TV or whatever, okay? That way they can be out the cold, and they can be out, you know.
Or nap.
Yeah.
They need to be able to sleep if they
take
want.
a nap right quick.
Okay, so let's say, okay, devil's advocate, and I hate doing this, but I've got to ask because there's a lot of stuff going on set. You're talking about all the things that the city should do to help the people who have nothing. Okay, what about those people doing for themselves?
See, you gotta realize is this. A lot of them people cannot do for themselves. Because if they can do for themselves, okay, say for instance, okay, a homeless person, they got their dogs, okay. Some shelters are gonna tell them, you can't bring your dog in, but they've been with this dog most all their life, okay. You see a lot of these people, they keep, everywhere they go, they got their dog with them. They tell them, oh, you can't, if he's not a service animal, you can't bring him in. That's his animal, that's his companion. So why you gonna try to take his companion away from him, make him stay outside when he's gonna be worried about his companion? Then you can't take care of his business like you want to because he's gonna be worried about his companion.
Okay, so anybody who's ever had a pet knows that, especially if you don't have a car and you're walking around, you want to go to the store, and then you I had this happen today. I tie up my dog, I go into the store, I trust this store, but I don't want to stay. I want to stay close because I don't want anyone to take him if that's, you know, and then he starts to bark. So I got to go back outside. Now imagine that, you know, it's pretty exhausting to be dealing with that. Imagine if that were 24/7. And we have a girl here who's sleeping on the sidewalk in solidarity. No one with a dog too. We have a person with a dog in exactly that reason. I asked her why she's houseless. It's because of the dog. She's not going to leave that dog. When she was not able to live somewhere anymore because she had a dog, then she chose to be on the street.
That's another thing they can do, right? See, you know, see one thing that the store owners or the store people not realizing is this. You leave your dog out there, say another dog come along and bite your dog, hurt your dog. Okay, they ain't gonna be responsible for that dog. You got to pay the vet, not them. You got to pay the vet out your money, out your pocket. Okay, so that's hurting you, not them. But yet instead, you're doing business with them. So they should have a place where, okay, bring the dog in here. Okay, you want to shop? Okay, that's why they should have a place. Okay, you want to bring your dog in? Come on in with him. Okay, make sure he don't, you know, if he's well trained, no problem. Come bring him on in.
How many people do you think that would help who are on the street right now?
They help a whole lot of people. Because, okay, for instance, okay, they got their companion right beside them. They ain't got to worry about them. Okay, say for instance, one of these dudes come out the club, they're all drunk and stuff. Okay, they see the dog, they kick the dog. Okay, you call the police, hey, you just kicked my dog. You shouldn't have the dog there in the first place. Why? That's my companion. So if I get in a fight with him, I'm going to jail, not him.
Right.
Because they're going to say I'm in the wrong.
Right. So you have this companion animal, and one of the things that we're gonna talk to Mo about that she said in an interview to me when I found out I have a mute button I didn't know about, and so I missed that whole interview and it just broke my heart. But she's gonna give it to me again because she promised to stay here and she's going to help people who are trying to figure out how to live out here because she's got it down. And that lady has a dog, and that dog saves her life every day. She says.
See, what they can do is this: they can build a place, say like building like this. They can build a place like this where people, if they can have a place where they can have their companion in a pen, they know that it's safe.
Right.
Even though it's in a pen, but they know it's safe. Okay. But they know, okay, they can build a place like this.
Yeah.
It don't cost the city nothing at all to build a place like this. Okay, instead of building all these hotels and stuff, building, you know, like for instance right over here. Okay, why you want to build a hotel for? What about the people that's on the streets? Build a place for them.
Okay.
Instead of building a place over here for.
So let's plan this. Let's say that I want to have a grocery store, and I'm going to put in some dog cages, and they're real nice. You know, and in order for you to have that, we'd have to have some kind of key card or something where you've already gotten your shots and I can keep it up. So let's say all City of Portland does this. We get little key cards that you can swipe. Otherwise, you can't put your dog in there because I don't know that your dog doesn't have a disease that's going to hurt somebody.
You don't need
right?
no key card.
Right.
Only thing you got to do, okay, say for instance. Okay,
well, actually, the disease only passes dog or what?
They can do it like this. Like prison, what they got, right? On the rec yard, right? They got individual cages. Okay, you go to your dog be in this one cage. Okay, the owner, or you got somebody there. That's his job to make sure that the dog stays there, stay like it's supposed to be. That's his responsibility.
Right. Like they do. Fred Meyer has a place for you to keep your kid.
Yeah.
Like if you have little kids, you check into the babysitter like a preschool daycare, and you know they're entrusted with children, and you could have dog cages, or whatever for people to come in, and you know you don't have to have them for every single store. You could have them for the block. You know, you go uptown, and people are dog crazy. They love dogs in those stores, but you know we don't need to get, you know, a glass frame. No, you know, we need to get groceries.
Only thing you need maybe about 20 cages. Okay. The dude's out there, his responsibility, a store employee, his responsibility, open up the cage, okay, let your dog in there, okay, give you a slip, okay, like they do when you check your coat in.
Yeah, claim check for your dog.
Claim check. When you go to another store, they tell you check your bag in. They give you a slip to show you, hey, which one is yours. That way, there won't be no mix-up or nothing.
Right.
Okay, that's his job. Okay, that's, you know. Plus, it would create a job for somebody else.
Right.
It would create a job for somebody.
Would you do that job if somebody paid you to do that job?
I do that job.
I would love it.
Yeah, because plus, you know, you have somebody on hand that know animals and stuff. There's good. That way you won't have to touch the person animal at all. You tell them, okay, take him out the leash, put him in there, he'd be safe. Okay, tell him to stay there, he'd be safe. Okay, that way, okay, store owner might tell them, oh, we're not responsible for the dog. We ain't got to be responsible for the dog because he's in the cage. Well, who is going home in the cage? Nobody.
Right. Well, it's a lawsuit, you know, eventually for someone, unless there's a protection, because that dog could faint, and an owner could say it was because it was too hot because it wasn't ventilated.
That's why. Okay.
Even if it wasn't true, they could say that.
That's why when you put the dog in there, you ask the man, okay, your dog had your shot. That's why you communicate. The dogs have your shot. Is your dog ill? How's your dog doing? That's why you have a person that know animals right then and there, like the dog whisperer. He know all about the dogs and stuff like that. Okay, put the dog in there. Okay, you tell him, okay, our responsibility is make sure your dog stay there and stay safe.
Yeah.
Okay, and put a bowl of water there. Okay, maybe the dog is thirsty. While you're only going shopping, put a bowl of water there. Tell them, hey, okay, put a bowl of water.
If you have cameras, then you're protected from unnecessary litigation. So it sounds doable. It sounds like we could go to the dog-friendly places, dog-friendly places like Northwest Portland. Now, the thing that's really striking me as ugly about this situation is I've noticed that all the services in Portland are yours unless you need them.
Mhm.
You know, you can do anything you want. You can lay down in a park, but if you don't have a bed and you have to lay down in a park, that's when the cop is going to bother you. And as far as restrooms, you know, the 24/7 restrooms, they get closed sometimes.
Yeah.
So you